Welcome back to Trusted IT Advisors. I'm Alan Brooks.
And I'm Brad Winkleski.
We are honored today to have a special guest, Adnan Dow. And man, we have a really cool segment today. Enterprise mobility, the future of it, the history of it, what it means to you. And if you want to know these things, you get an expert. And we today have an expert with 27 years experience, 17 years international experience. And if you want to know that, you ask the guy that knows. So, Brad, ask him a question.
Yeah, so I think I'd like to start with, and I think everybody else would as well, is it's so important before you understand where something's going or where we are. Like, let's maybe talk about like how we even got here. Maybe whether it be the technology, the landscape, whatever that happens to be. Maybe let's start at the beginning and talk to us a little bit about where mobility came from and what exactly it is.
That's excellent. So thanks a lot, guys, for having me. It's really exciting. This is very much of a passion for me. Been doing it again for 27 years, all around the world. I've had the opportunity to work on many different angles of mobility. So your question is very, very in time as far as where has it come from and where's it going? Mobility started, the roots of obviously military applications. All the things that needed to be executed upon without wires, out in the field, out in mission critical situations, public safety. And over the years, over the last 30, 40 years, we've really seen it just accelerate based on the technologies, the processing power, the back-end computing, and the internet. And with all of those components that have come together, it's really enabled what we call true enterprise mobility, the ability to capture, move, and diagnose and analyze information at the point of contact, as we call it. And for the first time, which is very exciting, in the history of mobility, if you will, you have the device that is just as powerful as the first computers that came out, if not more. You've got the network, that's LTE now 4G, which has the robustness to transport information irrespective of where you are. And then you've got the internet with just a multitude of information irrespective of where you are in the world. And for the first time, all three have come together to enable and enhance and make available today mobility. And this is the excitement of where it is, has it been and where has it taken us. And this is a very, very lucrative piece of the business that we're going to all see unravel in front of our eyes over the next 5 to 10 years.
It's very cool. One of the things that I'd really like to understand, and maybe our viewers would as well, is, you mentioned how like now is the perfect time where all of those things are coming together. Your opinion though, do you think that this need or this thought, this desire has always been there and basically everything was lagging to meet that need, or do you think it was almost the other way around?
Well, so I don't know that if it was always an intent. I think some of the technologies that have evolved have kind of forced the direction of the industry and the evolution of where we're going. But it always was the intent to be able to access information on a device in very robust or mission critical situations where you're not always tethered to a desk or what I call within the carpeted space, within the four walls of your office. So that was always the intent. As far as the technology and the evolution, with the chip getting smaller, you're getting more bandwidth, you got the internet, you get the telecommunications infrastructures being just upgraded every day. When all of that has come together, nobody ever, foresaw some of the applications that we use today. Whether it's Angry Birds, whether it's Sudoku, whether it's calendaring, whether it's line of business applications, whether field force mobility, sales force mobility, nobody ever foresaw those, but they needed the tasks. People wanted to do the tasks. The tasks didn't change. The very similar analogy that I would like to use is music. We've been listening to music since man could probably walk and talk, right, from what we know. Music hasn't changed, but the medium of how we take music has changed. It's gone from vinyl records to beaten on wood to vinyl records to 8 tracks to cassettes to CDs to MP3, and now it's being streamed. The music hasn't changed, but the medium has. And this is very similar to what's going on in mobility.
It's a great point. And I think one of the things I know we would like to uncover is just the same way that you mentioned, like going from beating on a piece of wood to to records. And as these things change, obviously the infrastructure behind it and all these supporting things, they need to change as well and kind of change with the times. So I know that's one of the things that we would like to uncover here is what all those pieces of the puzzle are for mobility and how they interact with one another, how they relate, but also how they're very, very different. So, one of the things that is definitely the subject we'll cover here is what comprises or what is it made up of, this mobility subject.
Yeah, and it's basically broke down to three categories as Adnan sees it. It's connect, move, and control. In the next few segments, we're going to break those down and really take a deep dive into them. So please watch.